Right guys, I just tried for a solid 20 minutes and I'm not having any luck, so we're just not going to do it because it's not fun and I can't be bothered. That is literally, it's as easy as that. So we're going to swap everything back and then we're going to go on to the next part of the game. I'm going to drop Siren. Then we can switch the junction in. So, bum ba bum, bum ba bum, and bum da dum, like that. And we can give Quistis back Siren because I think that's the one she had, and then we can revive good old Squall. So I've got kind of an abridged commentary for Ninja Gaiden 3 on my channel at the moment. And I decided to start talking about a topic which is quite diversive, which is religion. And the way I handled it, I thought I handled it quite fun. You know, I approached it from an interesting perspective. I made light of it so that it wouldn't sound really serious and we could, you know, have some interesting discussions on it. But once again, I've underestimated just the anal nature of the internet. You know, whenever you put out something that people could potentially disagree with or want to reiterate or correct or change people's beliefs, they analyse every single detail mercilessly. And that's pretty much what's happened when I chose to cover the subject of idolatry, which is the worship of an idol, essentially. And this is a word that has numerous definitions, guys, and the one I was using it for was just to point out the sheer stupidity of what these kind of crimes can be. And obviously I've got people on that video now telling me, you know, what it really means and when these laws were really being changed, and just, you know, going really deep into it in almost a defensive stance. And I don't really understand it because I used it as a scapegoat for a funny conversation, for an interesting conversation, because I didn't want to use heresy, which is the easiest one to talk about because anything you do that is deemed against religion can be classed as heresy, and that's not as interesting as something as crazy as idol worship. I could have also used blasphemy, which is like heresy on acid. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff like apostasy. Apostasy is a great one. You lost your faith, you converted to another one. Death penalty in Saudi Arabia up to this day. Like, this is real life, guys. These are real facts, and I didn't want to just bombard it all super negatively. I wanted to put it in a more interesting and thoughtful way, and that's not the way it's been received at all, which is a shame. Because as we know, it's always the negative people who are the loudest, so they're the ones that I'm seeing the most from. And I just didn't expect it, you know. I don't know why I didn't expect it, I just didn't. Are we supposed to fly into the Lunatic Pandora? I believe we are. So I think that's a bit disappointing, but I suppose I should have expected it. And I got a few comments on that video, like, I come from Saudi Arabia and this doesn't happen, you know, the only people that get death penalties are people who murder people, and it's not fucking true. Look it up, guys. Just Google search Sharia law. It is essentially a law that originates from translations of the Quran. You know, this is a law that has the same validity as the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You know, this is really crazy stuff. And Saudi Arabia is a country that I just picked because it was off the top of my head. You know, I didn't want to offend people who come from Saudi Arabia or anything like that. It was just the first one that came. I could have said Pakistan, I could have said a whole bunch of places, but I didn't. I said Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia's law, none of it is secular law. All of it is governed by Sharia law, which is essentially the constitution of Muhammad the Prophet. So, you know, you can't say that it doesn't happen, because it does. Like, I was highlighting extreme cases because they're the most fun ones to talk about, but this stuff is real, guys. Just look into it, you know, before you type the angry message saying, you know, that I've misunderstood what I'm talking about and I'm stupid, or, you know, I don't know what these words mean and things. Just look into it and read it for yourself, assess it for yourself. It's it's baffling. It's really baffling. Like, I don't get it. It's crazy, and it's, you know, it's worldwidely criticised by everywhere else because it's savage, essentially. Like, it's illegal to celebrate Easter or Christmas in Saudi Arabia. You can't do it. It's illegal to preach like Christian beliefs. You can't do it. It's a crazy old world. It really is. But it's real, and there's a lot of people that want to sugarcoat it, and you can't sugarcoat it because it's criminal, guys. It really is. And I just, you know, I wanted to do a theological discussion because I didn't really want to get all, you know, argumentative with it, because it wasn't supposed to be anti-religion. It wasn't supposed to be pro-atheism or anything like that. It was literally intended to just be, here is some really crazy shit. Look at it from a different perspective. And unfortunately, a lot of people can't. And I forget this because I'm actually quite open-minded when it comes to that kind of stuff. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oopsie daisy. Funny story too. Aiden, who got me into this game, this is as far as he's ever got with this game. Instead of going into the Lunatic Pandora and finishing the story, he decided to level up his GFs. And he spent like 200 hours leveling shit up and never did anything with it. And I have no idea why, and I keep telling him to go back and finish it. I hope he does, because it's a great game, but it's been a long time since then, and I don't think he's got much interest. But this is Rajin and Fujin, and we're probably going to have to fight him again. And here we go. Rajin Fujin boss fight. This is the final time we fight these guys. It's the first time we've heard the boss music in some time. See, just like I said, you know. Yeah, they've got nothing really to draw. So instead, I don't know what to do with these guys because there's not really much we can do. They're not in limit break range. We've got to the point now where we're probably so strong for the main game that there's no real fight here. And we're not even that strong. Oh, goodness me. Zell just representing with the 4k damage. But somebody did say on that video that, you know, it's too sensitive of a subject to discuss religion, and it is, but I don't want that to stop me discussing it, because I think there are certain things that need to be said, and if something is stupid, it should be called stupid. That's what I've always truly believed. And, you know, religious people of any religion, even the absence of religion, are always very quick to tell you their beliefs, so I just kind of looked at it as, you know, me sharing some of mine and some of the inconsistencies that I see with the ones I see. But it just, I was hoping for an awesome theological discussion, but then I realised that the average, you know, intellect on the internet is like a 10-year-old xenophobic, anti-Semitic, you know, homophobic, hate-filled person, and that's kind of sad. Right, what am I thinking of? What am I thinking to do here? Ah, GFs. Learn some GFs and stuff. But I had fun talking about it, and I think that's the main thing. Because it's just going to be one of those things where I ignore the people getting all overly defensive. Because it wasn't meant to be that way, and I can't change their mind. I can't persuade them otherwise, so there's no real need to even bother. One thing I do recommend for every religious person listening to this is whichever faith you're a part of, to read your doctrine, read the dogmas of your faith, so that you're aware of them, and you're aware of all of them, and not just the parts that people have used to make it sound more romanticised. Because I do think if people were more aware of what some of these books said, they would treat them a little bit differently. Just not in the Middle East, because, you know, the Middle East is fucked. That's as mild as you can put it. And it's in a bad way for one single reason, and that's because of men. Because of Iron Age misogyny. That country will forever be in trouble until it turns it around. And it doesn't matter how advanced or superior they get when it comes to economy, or when it comes to business, because I mean, look at Dubai. You know, United Arab Emirates, it's one of the central places in the world for business, yet if you're openly homosexual you can go to prison. Like, what the fuck is that? I just don't understand how people can't get over this thing of, if God is really so important and so, you know, omnipotent and amazing, why the fuck does he care about what little ants do with their dicks and balls? Like, I don't get it. You know, there's all bad things happening in the world, ranging from every atrocity you can think of to the smallest slight. Why the fuck does God care about what someone's doing with their dick and balls? To me, that seems just amazingly petty. But no one ever thinks of it like that. When was the last time you had your wish granted? When you made a prayer? You know? It's people who pray for everything. When was the last time it came true? Like, maybe that's why none of the prayers come true. Because he's too busy obsessing over what people are doing in the bedroom. It don't make any sense. They just don't. And unfortunately, the Lunatic Pandora is a big old maze, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to know my way around this. What we're going to try and do is get back to where we were when we came here before, if you remember. Which means we need to go down the green elevator, because I always remember the green one, because it's left, and left is the direction I generally take on everything. I don't know, I find it so strange that all these restrictions, all these sins, all these, you know, acts of contrition and repentance and punishments and absolutions, and it's always followed by the concept that it comes out of love. You know, I hate you and want to punish you and want to, you know, constrict you, but I do it because I love you. You know, it's a very parental thing. Which is funny because, technically, you know, God isn't anyone's parents. He just created the potential for those parents to, you know, do the thing that religion seems to hate the most, which is have a decent sex life. And it is kind of mixed signals, guys. Because for someone to love you so much, they sure hate you when you do things wrong. You know? I love you so much that because you didn't believe in me, when you die you will be eternally tormented and suffer 1,000 agonies. Well, thanks a bunch for that one. Maybe if you'd have given me a little bit more fucking proof that you were there, you know, maybe if you'd have done anything. You know, maybe if you'd have not needed humans to write books about you, maybe you'd write the books yourselves and then let the books fall from the sky in some really awesome, you know, provident moment. That would have been a much better delivery system of said knowledge, rather than here's a bunch of contradictory stories written by illiterate people who never knew the people they were writing about. Because that is not one way you're going to get me to... Ooh, he's got flair. To accept thought crime. It's not fair. You know, just because I thought it doesn't mean I'm a criminal. Ridiculous. And I love coveting my neighbour. My neighbour, well, my neighbour's like 60, so that's probably quite disgusting, but even so, like, isn't it my right to covet things? Like, would I be able to use the covetous gold serpent ring on Dark Souls? Or is that off limits too? Right. Where do you draw the line? Crazy. I think he might be dead. He's not dead. This is his counter move. And it's not very effective. Pokemon style. I do hope this guy didn't have anything worth drawing, because I think he's about to D. Which is a very common way of saying die from where I come from. But on a serious note, guys, I think for something so overly serious and all-consuming, you'd think religion would have a better sense of humour. But it really doesn't. Because it is something designed not to be questioned, you know. You're a true believer if you believe it without evidence, if you don't question it. They teach ignorance as a virtue, and I really don't think it is, you know, regardless of what people want to believe. I don't know where this leads. And that's why I find it very sad when, you know, obviously intelligent people, oh, this is where we need to go, because this is where Sifa is. We've come to take back a loan. Looks like you got company. Show them your hospitality. Gonna show you my hospitality, man. What's up? We've had enough, you know. We're like Waka. We just want to play blitzball and sit at the beach. This ain't you, Sifa, man. Wait outside. Laguna should be here soon. Go alone. Get it on your own and your name. It's like a non-sexy double entendre. Hey, come on, people. Sifa, we're quitting, you know. Don't know what's right anymore, you know. Wanna go play blitzball with Waka, you know. Exactly my thoughts. I thought we were a posse. We are. We always will be, you know. Because we're a posse. We want to help you, you know. But you're being manipulated, Sifa. You've lost yourself in your dream, man. You're just eating out of someone's hand like some perverted lapdog. We want the old you back. The one who had balls. Real dangly ones. Are you still gonna keep going? Come on, guys. We've got a giant sword. So this is where the cutscene would play that I mentioned in another video with Odin. But we didn't get Odin, so Odin's still probably sat on his throne room picking his ass. Are you going to continue this night thing? The night has retired. I guess you could call me a young revolutionary. What do you think you're doing, man? I've always got to be doing something big. That was my erection joke. Come this far, I'm gonna make it to the end, to the goal. There's no way I'm sharing it with you. Now lick my boots. Got a pretty steady hand to hold out that sword, that long ass sword on one arm. Can we get out from you? No. I think you can mug him for something good. Oh, I've got full life. Alex. Look how much he's not doing to us. Kind of sad. Oh, I'm too evasive. Too evasive for yourself. God, he's got so much shit. He couldn't hurt us if he tried. This is embarrassing. Oops, I missed my thing. Go on, Zell. Give him a good 4k damage. Oh, he can't hit him. Too sneaky. There we go. More like it. Go on, Sifa. I'm gonna kill you one of these. Just for old time's sake. Now I'll show you what I can do. Oh, Squall and your giant celestial flashlight. Which is funny because on Kingdom Hearts, he kind of does this ability in a really minute way when his sword goes all glowy. He gets a portable blasting zone, like a minute pocket blasting zone. Yeah, he doesn't last long. Is this the end? Ugh. No experience, a hero. 40 AP. It's quite a lot of learning. Oh, Sifa. Sifa. Not yet. It's not over yet, Squall. I'm just gonna run away. Uh-oh. Squall, Sifa got a hold of Renoa. How? What were you guys doing? You had one job. One job. No, that team is fine. Credits will do fine. No, they won't. Ba, ba.